Hey guys, so today we're going to hit balance. Not something that people think about a lot in their physical fitness routines. You know, they tend to think cardio, strength, yoga, Pilates. Not so much balance. So all we need is a wall. You could have a mat if you want, and let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Thank you for coming. Today we have a subject that's kind of near and dear to me. It's balance. In physical fitness, the obvious things that people always think about are strength, flexibility, and cardiovascular health. But regardless, balance is a pretty important thing because you always hear the story, oh yeah, grandma fell down and broke her hip and that was like the end. So as you get older, the first thing that you're going to probably lose if you're not maintaining it is your balance. It's the first thing that you lose whenever you're compromised anyway. If you get sick, if you are drunk, if you're whatever. I mean, you don't get pulled over and the guy says, okay, let's arm wrestle to see if you're drunk. He says walk on the line without, falling over. So balance is something that you lose repetitively just depending on what's going on in your life. And any of you guys who do yoga on a regular basis will know that if you're feeling a little off or funky, you get in there and it's time to do the balance postures and all of a sudden, whoa, this doesn't feel normal to me. But anyway, so let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is tree pose. But I want to tell you a couple of things that will improve your balancing regardless of where you're at or what you're doing. There's two things that will make your balance improve by a lot. One is a steady spot for your eyes when you're in the pose or the posture. The other is smoothing and calming your breath, okay? So they kind of go together. Restless eyes sort of equals restless mind and restless breath. Steady gaze calms the mind, calms the breath. It will make your balancing so much easier if you just do that in everything that we're doing. So let's start with the tree pose. You can do this at whatever level works for your body. So if you don't have a lot of flexibility and you just want to bring your foot to here, that's good. You're still balancing on one foot. If you have the, if you're up here, you're up here. Good for you. I'm so happy. But that's not the point. The point is to balance. So if you see somebody doing tree pose and they're like this and you can only get your foot up here, you go, oh gosh, I guess I can't do that. Don't worry, just get that foot wherever you can to connect it and off we go. If you got the wall next to you, your choices are to either come here if you're fairly steady, and then if you start to fall, you just touch the wall, come back. We're doing this together, right now? Because I'm trying to multitask, talk, teach, and get through this video. Good. Or you could just hold it here, just maybe wrestle it here and let it go and fall into it again, okay? So that's good for that side, whatever you were doing. Next we go to the other side. So same thing here. Now, when I say you want your eyes on a steady spot, that doesn't mean I'm going to pick a spot down here and look down because now my posture's terrible. I need to keep my posture. If I'm going to got a spot in front of me I can use, then great. If I don't, then I can look down at the floor, but my head doesn't drop, just my eyes. And here again, if your foot's down here, that's okay. If your foot's down there and you're touching the wall, that's okay. You will improve if balance is a problem for you. Okay? Here, wherever you are, that's fine. All right, basic tree pose. You can also, you guys that are more advanced, if you want to this is just something you can do every day to work on your balance. You can take the arms overhead, do other stuff like that. If you want to really get crazy, come to your end and close your eyes and hold it there. That's kind of like the killer. Okay, so from there, now we're going to take an airplane. Typical thing that you would do in a yoga practice. So you got your trusty wall here. You're going to step out. We don't need to step out. You're going to step out usually from a warrior or something like that, right? So you're in your airplane. Same thing. I don't want my head looking up. I don't want my eyes looking back. I want neutral posture with my back and spine. If you ever see my other video I did, it's called Finding Tadasana, finding the mountain pose in the posture. You always want as neutral a posture as you can find if the pose allows it. You can just have this hand against this wall, take it off. If you fall out, you put it back over there. If you like Namaskara or Warrior 3, you can do those, right? You could practice that and touch off the wall if you needed to. So you got all those choices, but maintain the posture, maintain the focus with your eyes, and calm your breath down. All right. Other side. So if you really want to play around with stuff here, you could do this. You could come up here, like take a more official way of getting into this if that makes you, is that something you're working on? Same thing here. My left hand can just kind of tap off the wall. I like that back foot, toes pointed down, heel flex. To me, this just gets wonky. You start externally rotating, pointing the toe. The dancers love that, of course, but whatever. Either way, keep the hips square. Eyes are looking at a steady spot. Warrior 3 or Namaskara, if you want it. And then we'll just let that go. Okay, nice and simple. This is just simple stuff. Balancing doesn't require intricate, crazy things. It's just balancing. Okay, so now we're going to get into something that's a little harder. If you have a problem, there's multiple levels of this, okay? This is Utita, Asta, Padangustasan, fancy name for hand of big toe. So you stand next to the wall. The ultimate version of this posture looks like this. Hand on the hip, leg is out. Okay? Now, you don't have to do that. You can do this. And this is working your balance perfectly, right? It's not as challenging as having that leg extended. Now, if you have a strap and you want to use a strap, this is just my yoga mat strap, but you get the idea. If you're ever using a strap when you're extending your foot away, whether you're on the floor or wherever you're at, you do not want to do this. The idea is not to hold the arm back here. You're trying to imitate the ultimate end goal. So if that's what you're doing, you want to reach down close to your foot, because all this is doing is just helping you get that further out. Maybe you're not to the point where you can get all the way out, but you're here or you're here. But you don't go here like that. That's not happening. Okay? That's if you're using a strap. So your choices are knee, strap, big toe. Okay? Now, we're just going to take this in the two directions, the classic two directions. I'm going to angle a little bit here, have my hand on the wall, take my big toe, out I go. It could be strap, it could be holding the knee. Either way, my head stays neutral. I don't want to look down and screw my posture up, so my head stays neutral. My eyes can look down, or I can find a spot somewhere out in front. Now, the official version of this is your hand is on your hip. So you could even put your hand on your hip and use your elbow on the wall, but I wouldn't worry about that. If you're trying to find your balance here, I would just hang out here, use the wall as much as you need it. You guys are doing this along with me, I'm sure. And we're going to hold that for like 5 breaths or so, which we're probably at. And now we take it off to the side. Knee, strap, big toe. Here again, you just hang here, do whatever you could kind of balance with this hand, whatever it takes for you to start to develop more balance in the posture. Okay? And then we'll bring it back to the front. And we'll just finish this off with a couple more breaths here. And we're done. Okay? Other side. So, same thing. Knee, strap, big toe. And off we go. Hold it here. Eyes are steady. So I have a light switch over there, straight in front of me. I can look at that. If I didn't have that and I was looking down at the floor, my head wouldn't move. My eyes would just look down. Hanging out here, I've either got the knee, the strap, or my big toe. I'm balancing, smoothing my breath out as much as possible, and I take it off to the side. And we bring it back to the front, and we hold it. Okay, there you have it. 3 simple and classic yoga balance positions that you can find yourself in a lot of yoga classes. Some of them are a little advanced, right? You're talking basic beginner stuff, not so much. But either way, balance is key. Now this is just fundamental. This is just helping you through everyday life. You want to go out and get on a skateboard or surf or snowboard or something like that, you know, this will help. That's a whole other skill level. But basically, we're trying to maintain a ability to balance in our lives to where we don't fall over as we get older, to where we don't, you know, if we trip, we can recover without hitting a underwater rock, to where we can recover. So it's simple, but through repetition, you will develop those states, that equilibrium, that inner ear thing. I don't even know what it is for sure. I'm not a doctor on that. But whatever it is that helps you attain your balance. But I'm telling you, a single spot. You start getting up here and you start looking around, the party is freaking over. You need a spot for your eyes, calm your breath down, do these 3 simple things, make them as hard as you want, as many times a day. And of course, there's more advanced ones, and maybe we'll get into that down the road. But this is just to keep you tuned up for your balancing as you live your life and as you do your yoga practice. So like, subscribe. I'm going to be putting content up all the time. Short stuff like this, some flows and stuff like that. But there's good information, you know. So, I mean, if you prefer hot-looking influencers that have only been doing this stuff for a year or 2, or they got the tattoo on their arm of the Om and now they're a teacher, you can go with that too. But if you want, I've been doing this a long time, and my only goal with this channel is to convey information and techniques to acquire the skills that I've had to acquire without that help over the last 45 years. So thank you. Work on your balance. Stay healthy. Namaste.